It's crazy how like the literal like minute after I upload my previous video, this insane new patch dev block just gets released with all the new item changes, rune changes, a lot of different things, and they're primarily affecting ADC. So obviously, like the ADC player I am and the closest main I've become, I think it makes sense to take a quick look at PvE. So we are on PvE right now. As you can see, there are new items. All the crit items now give 25% crit chance instead of 20% crit chance, and everything looks pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go over everything that will affect Callisto, because I'm pretty sure there are like hundreds, thousands of people who have made videos on this stuff anyway. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll go over boots first because one, your Berserker's Greaves can now be fully upgraded into Zephyr, but Zephyr is currently bugged. So let's do a quick jump comparison to show you what I mean. So let me just get out of home guard so it doesn't affect that I'm jumping. Stand right here and do like a sideways jump like this. So you see the distance approximately, like I can go from like the middle to like the edge of this little area here. Alright, let's check out how it looks with completed boots. Go back to this thing again. And then jump. Visibly bigger. It's very visibly bigger. You can like I'm going inside the little box now, comparing to this little thing. If I upgrade to Zephyr and then try it again, you'll see that for some reason it's not as big. Like I'll try to compare it side by side. I think this is like the same distance as So right now Zephyr is bugged. The way that Callisto's passive works, boot tier will increase dash distance, and depending on what Riot decides to do, boot tier, this could be a bigger dash distance, it could be the same dash distance, but I highly doubt they'll lower the dash distance, just because it doesn't make any sense. It's a higher boot tier than what it was before. So that's that. But if it does work as intended and it increases your dash distance on top of the extremely useful effect of reducing slows, this is like an incredible item then, because one big problem that Callisto has is slows. If you can prevent slows from slowing you down, you're effectively increasing your DPS while you're kiting. And that is a massive, massive change that could help you out in a lot of situations, because sometimes like I've tried Swiftness boots a couple of times against like Ashe and other very heavily slowing champions, and it's just not worth the loss of attack speed early game. So Swiftness boots no longer gives you slow resistance. Instead, it gives you something like the Phage passive, which is like it gives you movement speed after you auto attack a unit. These two boots are also cheaper now at 1,000 gold instead of 2,000. As you can see, they've been nerfed slightly to compensate, especially the plated seal caps. I don't think this got nerfed. I think this is still the same. But this now gives less damage reduction from auto attacks. This is also replacing mobility boots. This is essentially mobility boots still, but you have to walk around the map a lot to activate it. So this will like lower down the effect of early game roaming. Same reason why this is also 45 movement speed instead of 60 movement speed to affect early game roaming. So supports will probably be slightly weaker in terms of roaming. Also, no corrupting pot. So this being moved up here looks really weird. I want them lined up, but whatever. New items, a new component. When I read this, I initially thought of the Bilgewater Cutlass, but like this isn't an active, it's a passive, and doesn't steal movement speed. It's just attack speed and nothing else. 900 gold, builds off of a dagger. Does some magic damage reduced by auto attacks, and I haven't tested if this is further reduced by the race speed on hit effect. I guess now's a good time to test it. So let's just see. Oh, I have this thing on. Sorry. So I'll just auto this, then see if it doubles up. Yes, it doubles up. So Race Blade does synergize with this, but you won't. This effect doesn't stay for any of the items. Like this is just a component that stays, but that's it. There are no new other components. Noon Quiver is slightly more expensive. It doesn't give the extra effect, no more attack speed, but it does give crit chance, and it built into the newly changed shield bow and wild arrows. We'll go over all the items individually. Phantom Dancer no longer gives any AD. It gives a crap ton of attack speed, movement speed, and you're ghosted, and that's it. So it's basically just a stat stick. Callisto will never build this. Runaan's Hurricane is back to its old stat, like literally, it's the exact same stats. It's the exact same gold price as well. Literally, it's this old Runaan's before the item rework. Navori has been changed completely. It no longer gives AD, it gives attack speed instead. I don't see why anyone will be building this anymore other than like Lucian and Zaya. But like even Lucian, I'm not sure if he'll build it because the attack speed is kind of worthless on him. He'd like prefer to get more AD than attack speed. So this might be like a Zaya only item, and even Zaya might just go Infinity Edge. So even though it's 2600 gold, I don't see how it's gonna be useful. You can build them together now, which is actually very useful. Now like champions like Nila can build both of these together as well, which is actually a really big deal. And the fact that it's really cheap makes it really good as well. So you could probably build this as a first item followed by Infinity Edge. But other than that, I think overall this is a nerf. But the fact that you can build it with Infinity Edge is pretty good. Even though they both have the unbounded unique thing. For now you can build them together. But I'm not sure if that's going to change. It could be a bug. The same way Zephyr is bugged right now. Rapid Fire Cannon no longer gives AD. Also, by the way, didn't mention it, but the damage passive where you get more crit, you get more damage with more crit, is gone now. RFC is back to its old cost, old stats, old everything. Withstand, nothing changed, nothing changed. Static Shiv no longer gives crit, and it's a much more, I would say, useful effect because not only can you activate it potentially every 3 seconds, you'll probably never do it, but it does a lot of damage when you kill a champion with it, and it has no cooldown, so you can activate it even if you use a minion to like activate it right before killing them. So I think this is going to be pretty useful now, especially for team fighty champions. Like I feel like someone like Vayne could use this really well now. Like she already used it really well. She has wave clear issues. This will fix her wave clear and give her team fighting damage. Unchanged. Shieldbow no longer gives any lifesteal. I think this will like make it essentially useless as a Callista item because lifesteal is such an important stat. But this is still not like unchanged. This is still the same thing. The AD is still the same. The cost is still the same. It's just that it doesn't give lifesteal, and lifesteal is super important for Callista. And there's no attack speed either. So overall, I don't think Callista will be building this much anymore, but they could be wrong. No more Giant Slayer passive. More armor pen, more AD. I would say overall this is a nice change because they also changed cut down, so there's no more like max health based damage, like comparative max health based damage anymore in the game, as far as I know. Moral Reminder is unchanged. Terminus has 5 more AD, 5 less AD, 5 more attack speed. Kraken Slayer no longer gives AD, and they brought this back again. Like they had this on PBE once, and then they just never shipped it. Now I guess they have it back again, where the lower the enemy is, the more your Kraken Slayer will do damage. I don't think Callista will be building this because it is kind of anti-synergistic with how Callista works. You want to do most of your damage at higher HPs, and your E will kill them at lower HPs. So I don't see why you'll be building this. This now gives ability haste, a little SMR, a little more AD, costs a little bit more. I don't think Callista will be building this, but since Shieldbow is pretty much terrible now, this could be a good replacement for it. Collector gives 5 more AD, a little less lethality. You could build it on Callista, but I wouldn't recommend it. Essence Reaver is back to its old glory. I don't see anyone building this item because it's ridiculously expensive for its effect. You should not be spending 3200 gold for a decent stat stick, but like it's still pretty bad considering like Infinity Edge is 200 more gold and it gives a lot more AD and a much more useful effect. But like because we have a presence of mind in the game, an effect like this kind of lost its purpose. Like before when this existed, as a server was not bad. Like server used to build it because presence of mind was not a thing. This is a very interesting item. I thought this would be very good with Ashe because of how her Q like shoots multiple arrows, each of which can crit. But each of those attacks counts as one attack, and it only activates this once. But each critical strike can activate this effect, and this effect stacks each time. But it's only one proc of this per auto, from what I've seen. There could be other synergies I'm missing, but I would say champions like Lucian, Jinx, any fast auto-attacking crit champion would benefit from wild arrows. The problem is that this gives no attack speed to synergize with the fast attack thingy, so I think someone like Lucian would really like this build, this item. Blade of the Rune King got buffed and nerfed. Now it takes 3 auto attacks to slow them instead of 1 auto. It's 6% current health instead of 9% current health on hit. But it gives 15 more AD and 5 more attack speed and 2% more lifesteal, or is it 3%? It gives more lifesteal. It costs the same, or maybe 100 gold less. No, it's the same. GA is unchanged. Scimitar doesn't give any crit anymore. It's back to its old version as well, where it gives lifesteal, MR, and AD, but no crit. I think the old version had lifesteal. Infinity Edge and Bloodthirster both give AD attack damage, and have their... Infinity Edge is pretty much unchanged, except for the 25% crit. And Bloodthirster is back to what it used to be before, where it gave AD, lifesteal, and excess health turned into overheal. So, I'm not sure why they did this. This was a threat... Actually, no, this makes sense, because overheal is gone. So we'll go over runes really quickly as well. I'm using most of the new runes. There are some other runes as well, but I'll talk about those after. So press the attack has been changed, where after hitting enemy 3 times, you'll do more damage, and it amplifies your damage. So this is really important to realize. This amplifies your damage, not... It doesn't make the enemy weaker, it makes you stronger. So here, I'll attack this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I have an effect on me now. Not this character. There's no effect here, but there's an effect on me. So if I attack someone else, this stays, by the way. It doesn't go away. I know there's a PTA proc activating again, but this proc doesn't go away. You can activate the damage thing again, which might be a bug, because I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. But this is permanent until you leave combat. And I'm not sure if this stays on monster camps as well. I'll just test that really quickly. I'm gonna try and auto-attack a monster. It does. Okay, so once you activate it, as long as you are in combat auto-attacking something at all, you'll keep it active. So on minions, it's pretty useful then. And there's some other runes as well. Absorb Life has been added to the game. After you kill a target, it heals you, and this is kill a target. From what I can see, this includes minions. And that seems absurdly OP. I'm gonna test that right now, because I highly doubt it includes minions. I just want to test this. I just realized I have no items. Did I heal? I did heal. Okay, so this does include minions. And it scales with levels. So since I'm level 15 right now, because I wanted to check Zephyr, it's healing me 14. I'm assuming it would heal less if you are earlier on, but I can see this being a really nice option on top of something like Fleet to help you survive lane. Legend Tenacity is gone. So by the way, this replaces Overheal. Overheal is gone. Legend Tenacity is gone. Now you have Legend Haste. It's the exact same thing as all the other ones, but it gives you Ability Haste instead. It's 10 stacks. It gives you some Ability Haste to begin. No, it does not. Unlike Legend Alacrity, it does not give any Ability Haste to begin with. So it's like Legend Bloodline in that sense, but it's only 10 stacks and there's no extra effect on 10 stacks. Cutdown has been changed. It's no longer a tank shredder, but now it deals more damage to champions who have 60% health or more. So this would be great for more Assassinate champions, I think, because most of their damage comes out altogether at the start, and this will be harder for like other champions to react to and try to survive. So I wouldn't use this on Callista at all. Like, most of her damage comes after with her E, not her auto attacks, and by the time they reach below 60% health, after that you'll press E and then their E won't get the cut down effect. There are a lot of changes to the inspiration tree as well. We have Cashback, which replaces the top right row, which gives you 6% gold back when you get legendary items. And we have Jack of all trades, which is the bottom right row. For each different stat you get from items, you get one Jack stack, and each one gives you one ability haste. This is like the perfect item for champions who have like multiple scaling. So someone like Kaisa, Jax, Zeri, they could all use this very well because they can build a lot of AP, AD, attack speed, crit, whatever they want, armor, MR. Like, you can build every type of stat in the game essentially. So those champs can do a lot. And if you have more different stacks, you'll get adaptive force depending on how many different stacks you have. And I'm sure that adaptive force scales with your level. And yeah. Font of Life got changed to make it so that CCing an enemy will heal you and your lowest health ally nearby. It's the effect is weaker for range and it has a cooldown now. And Ingenious Hunter and Predator are removed. Nothing is replacing them. And that's pretty much all that changes. I'll say, Features Market's gone. I forgot what else is gone. There's one more thing that was gone. Median Dematerializer is gone, and there was some rearrangement. I think Time Warp Tonic has been moved to the middle left of the row. I'll go into it later. I can put like a screenshot of how the new runes look like here or something. But yeah, just a quick look at how builds might change for Callista. Overall, I think your core will still be this. I highly doubt you'll ever not build this 3-item core because it's just too good. It's too strong. Everything is good about this. After this, because Shield Bow is kind of bad now, like the general build, it doesn't change. You can still do this build. There's nothing wrong with that. After these, your 5th item can be whatever you want. I think, I don't know if Runaan's Hurricane is still bugged or not. I'm gonna check if Runaan's Hurricane is still bugged. Because it was bugged for a while. It's still bugged, as you can see. I'm gonna jump backwards. Wait. Yeah, as I jump backwards, sometimes my auto attack just does not activate Runaan's Hurricane like that. But does it have to do a distance though? Because when I'm further away, it does work. Let me try this. No, it's bugged. Yeah, it's bugged. I'm definitely in range. So, Runaan's Hurricane is still bugged. Don't build the item until it's fixed. Yeah. I mean, Shield Bow is not a bad item in this slot. You can still build it. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, that's the general build. You can use that last slot for Guardian Angel, Moth Malmortius, Mercurial Scimitar, any other tanked item like Randuin's, Force of Nature. You can even build this new item, Overlord's Bloodmail. This is like the old Titanic Hydra passive, but it gives you even more AD the lower you are. So, HP stackers who get love AD like Scion and Mundo would really love this item. Callista could use it with a build that looks something like this. Let me make something right now. Build this item here. Sorry, like that. So this gives you a lot of HP. This gives you a lot. The armor pen, your damage as usual. This ends up giving you 27 AD. If you have overgrowth and conditioning, you'll get even more AD. I'd assume like 30, 35 AD, and the lower you are, the more AD you get. Add the power of Last Stand on top of that, and you'll be doing a lot of damage. One caveat is that you don't have a lot of attack speed with this build, but that is completely fine because you can build Zephyr. And until this gets fixed to make it so that it gives the correct jump distance, don't build it. So after the jump distance is fixed, you can build it, which I'm sure it'll be fixed by the time it goes on live. I hope it does. Please fix it, right? As for crit builds, I feel like crit builds gonna be not terrible, I think, because you can still do the usual these two items first, and then Runaan's Hurricane after it's fixed. It's still not fixed, which is crazy. I find that absurd that it's not fixed yet. Lord Dominic's, Infinity Edge, and then to fill this off, you could either build a Shield Bow or a Bloodthirster if you want crit or lifesteal, depending on how you want to survive. Or do you want to survive in the middle of fights? Do you want to survive early bursts? So if you're facing assassins, you could build this. If you're facing more front-to-back team fighting, you can build this. If you don't like either of them and you want to build even more damage, you could just go for a Rage Blade. Like, you can build these at the same time. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is like probably your highest damage possible build because you're not only getting the on-hit effect from Blade of the Ruined King, Runaan's, and Rage Blade, you're also getting crit and armor pen from LDR and Infinity Edge. So in terms of the highest damage potential build, I doubt you'll ever run into a build stronger than this. As for runes, I'm just running these runes to show you what they do. But I would say now that Lethal Tempo is gone, I don't know if I mentioned this at the start, but Lethal Tempo is gone. Press Attack is essentially supposed to replace Lethal Tempo, but like you can't uncap your attack speed with runes anymore. So the only champions you can uncap attack speed are like Jinx and pretty much just Jinx. Like I really don't understand how champions like Kog'Maw and Varus are gonna play. I'm sure there'll be a lot of compensation buffs to make up for it, because those champs really relied on uncapping the attack speed to get a lot of attack speed from their passives and use their on-hit effects to shred through enemies. So, yeah, that's kind of it. For runes, I was thinking you go, if you want to go stick to position as your primary tree, you can go press the attack. I still think Triumph is a little bit better than Absorb Life because of how aggressive you like to play early on. You do want the little bit of extra gold, the extra healing from missing health is probably a little more useful than the flat healing from Absorb Life. Unless you're facing a poke lane, in which case you could go Absorb Life, that's fine. I don't think Legend Bloodline will ever have a place in Callisto's build just because it's not great as a stat. Like, attack speed is just so much more useful considering how high her attack speed ratio is. Never use Cut Down. Coup de Grace is pretty bad as well. I do think Last Stand is literally always the option, even against like one-shotted teams where you are never going to exist at low HP. Just for the early game, I think Last Stand is still better. Sudden Impact is still completely overpowered, I think. On Callista, you get a lot of damage very reliably, and you could easily go for Treasure Hunter, Ultimate Hunter, even Relentless Hunter. I think all three Hunters are great options depending on the situation. And if you have a support you're in calls with, you can go Zombie Ward to get the ward kills and stack up your Zombie Ward. If you don't have comms, you can go Eyeball Collection, that's totally fine. You can even switch out your Sudden Impact for Taste of Blood and run Absorb Life for sustain lanes. Like, sorry, poke lanes to sustain. So, yeah. Build-wise, I don't think any of the bigger item changes are gonna affect her. Like, her overall build is still, like, very much the same. I don't think this 4-item spike will change. And the changes to Blade of the Ruined King might affect her, but, like, the base stat increase is also very nice. And if Zephyr actually, like, ships correctly and buffs her jump range even further than Berserker's Graves, I think Callisto would be like a top tier champion, because that's always scary. Like, when her jump distance increases, that leads to crazy shenanigans. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, good luck with your rest of the season. There's only 2 weeks left of the season. I'll try to get this uploaded on the day of the patch that got like shown. It was late yesterday for me technically. I'll try to get it uploaded by today. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.